Well, let's get into the headlines, folks. That was off the rails, but in a good way.
Yeah.
But anytime I think of the back of someone's hand touching Nick, you know. All right.
That's right,
Anyway,
baby.
CME Group, Ethereum, and Bitcoin.
Eye
All right. So Ethereum 2 outperformed Bitcoin after halving? Uh-oh. What is going on? This is a CME Group, which operates derivatives marketplace, published a report discussing the dynamics between BTC and ETH in the context of the upcoming halving event, scheduled at around April 24, I think. CME Group is analyzing the correlation between Bitcoin and ETH months before halving, an event whose ripple effects will likely be felt across the market considering Bitcoin's capitalization and status. Historically, halving events have supported Bitcoin prices while also lifting altcoins in the process. I would say, Bitcoin's price appreciation lifts the altcoins in the process. The report recognizes the correlation between ETH and Bitcoin and how the ETH-Bitcoin pair has moved over the years. However, they mentioned other possible triggers of a Bitcoin bull run that could impact the pair and influences ETH's valuation, possibly forcing ETH to outperform Bitcoin. Top of the list, he says, are the effects of the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, which could increase Bitcoin's demand. I don't know if you saw, it looks like a lot of mining equipment on the way to Russia right now. Their hash rates on the way up.
For sure.
Besides, the report highlights the unexpected impact of events like the collapse of regional banks, and which temporarily boosted price of Bitcoin and ETH as factors to watch out for. So we got collapsing banks abroad. We have, nations starting to get really, really into Bitcoin. And really, I would say the main story there, they're rejecting the dollar. They're looking around. I don't see anything. I see Chinese digital yuan. Oh, that's a little sketch. I see Venezuela's currency. Maybe I should use that. No, probably need to stick away. Then I see the shining beacon.
There it is.
Over the hill, I see this. It's blinding me, okay? I feel like I looked upon an angel. My skin had melted when I looked at it. That's what they see when they look at this. Is that what you see? You know what I see? Not enough likes.
Oh, yeah, wait. How many are we at?
Not enough.
Okay.
I don't even know the number. I just know it's not
700.
enough.
Gotta pump them up.
The CME is the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, right?
Yes.
They are the commodities, basically the biggest commodities one.
Yes.
So
you want to have a future on pork bellies, you go to Chicago to the CME.
Yeah. Are you on the Robinhood app? Have you bought half a ton of corn by accident?
I have not bought 1,000 pounds of corn. Have you?
No, but have you heard the stories of people buying commodities and then not selling them, and then they get delivery of corn to their house?
That sounds kind of cool. Now, if I did that, I would want to make sure I have Monsanto corn because I want to be able to dunk I want to clean my corn in buckets of Roundup.
So here's what I'm looking at through the tea leaves is have high level operators at the CME already been given a tip off that Ethereum is going to be called a commodity if they're studying it.
Okay. Maybe.
Why would they spend the time to do this if it's not going to be a commodity?
Why would they look into Ethereum if it wasn't going to be a commodity? That is a very good question. I can't think of one because they're not a press company, right? They're not a media company. They're not trying to get attention. If anything, they probably don't like that this study is being talked about between us right now.
No, they don't like it. This is the alpha you get on BitBoy Crypto channel. And if you want more alpha, smash that like button.
I just now looked at your shirt. All right, vibe session.
Hold on,
not going to do the vibe session.
You're not going to do vibe session?
Oh, wait, that's right. It's your thing. All right. Is the vibe session over? This is, I feel like this is, they look at some random vlogger and they're like, this is what millennials think. A lot of people have been asking, is the vibe session over the past few weeks?
Well, hang on. This is Kyla Scanlon. So she's like an influencer. She's on TikTok. She was just on Fast Company. Like she is, this isn't some, Gen X, boomer. She's younger than us by a long stretch.
Okay.
So that's why I figured you'd like this article because it's not written by a boomer. She's like 27.
When I hear people talk about vibes, I think they're a crystal person.
I know. This is all tongue in cheek.
Nothing against crystal people. Okay. We like our crystal holders.
Everything against crystal people.
Everything?
You worship the devil.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Well, back to the story here. The staff now has a noticeable slowdown in growth starting later this year in the forecast. But given the resilience of the economy recently, they are no longer forecasting a recession. Certainly seems that both the vibe session and the fear of recession are somewhat gone? Question mark. Vibes are clear in both consumer sentiment and real wages with. Consumer sentiment is at all-time highs as gas prices tick down. Here we're looking at, okay, so U.S. Consumer Index of Consumer Sentiment is the purple line. Okay, we're all-time high for the year. So we're all-time high for the year. Looks like we were last at these levels in, bullish area of 21. So I would say that's actually pretty good comparing it to second half of 21. We seemingly avoided a big downturn due to combination of mostly big fiscal, AKA, hey, looks like government spending money. I guess we got to print some. $700 billion in subsidies here, and also companies issuing debt at low rates. Okay, and just as a flag on doomerism, one of my favorite charts of all time, the lost returns from listening to esteemed perennial doomsayers. Is Kiyosaki on here somewhere?
Shockingly, no, but Paul Krugman is.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right. So here we got the names on the right there. So COVID did not rescue the Armageddonists from underperformance. Purgatory. Performance impacting of shifting $1 from the S&P measured from the week of the Armageddonist comment to November 13th, 2020. Yeah, the vibes are not perfect. We still have student loan payments back starting to back up. It's bifurcated here. We got drops in Medicaid enrollment, rising hunger, maybe rising homelessness as well. Housing, still a nightmare. People do not want to sell their home. And workers are going on strike, which is important. So yeah, there's going to be increased wages. I don't know. Teamsters, Amazon has some stuff that is in the UPS ecosystem, correct? They don't do everything.
You can ship UPS, yeah, and it will what they call last mile. They'll do it through Amazon, but UPS will be, if it's coming from California to Georgia, it will be UPS.
Did you see the recent strike details? It looks like maybe the average wage is going to be $49
an hour.
I think $49 an hour, and then a new part-time employee starting salary $27 an hour.
Yeah.
Is this going to impact our Amazon items cost?
No, Amazon is not going to jack up prices. They will keep it low because they are trying to stay ahead of Walmart. Thank you, Walmart, for keeping the retail game competitive, because that is what Amazon is most afraid of right now.
Okay, all right. So, I might say they could go up a little. It could go up a little, not in any serious way, but we'll see. It's probably going to be the bigger items, the things that weigh 50 pounds that probably has a high percentage of its shipping costs is due to UPS.
Yes.
But small things where it's coming from the warehouse, put on the van, and then they drive it and drop it. That will have zero impact of UPS.
Batteries, iPads, Nudie
so
mags.
I guess it'll be item dependent, but I guess if you order a lawnmower or something like that.
And food will also, by the way, news update, your food is going to go up in price.
Yeah, your food will go up in price. All right, I think we have one last thing here. I guess on a human note, I've been struggling with describing the economy recently. I've written on doomers and the cult of nostalgia and how we seem to get caught in these infinite repeating loops of thing bad, thing bad, thing bad. Okay. Basically saying we fetishize doomsaying here. Would you say that's a rough assessment?
Yeah, doom scrolling. And like, what does this mean for crypto people? Well, it means that if the vibes are mid, then the market's going to be mid for a while.
Yeah, the vibes are sus for real.
If the vibes are sus, that means you get to accumulate more. Congratulations.